Enter. Well, the newest Harbinger decides to grace my presence. Just kidding. You'll find I'm not nearly as conceited as my colleagues. Please, take a seat. What can I do for you? Oh, you're making your rounds, introducing yourself to everyone. Quite prudent, aren't you? Well, you may have already met me at the ceremony, but I will introduce myself formally. I am the Knave, also known as Arlecchino. I hold the fourth seat in the Fatui Harbingers. I see. I must admit, it's quite amusing to have the sixth seat be filled after such a long vacancy. In fact, I must say you've intrigued me. You, someone who has apparently appeared from nowhere with nothing to their name, arrives in Snezhnaya and is somehow bestowed with the sixth seat of the Harbingers. To become a Harbinger, that's no easy task. I'll cut to the chase. It's suspicious. I have informants everywhere. To hear about your sudden arrival, and to hear that you, no less, have gathered the attention of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, you can imagine why I feel the need to investigate for myself, yes? For anyone to become a Harbinger, you must first crawl your way through the ranks with an unbridled passion, a strong resolve, and unwavering discipline. Or a person is handpicked by the Tsaritsa. It seems you've fallen in the latter category. And don't get me wrong, I trust Her Majesty's judgment. I merely wanted to gauge what sort of person you were for myself. You can understand, right? That's a good question. However, I'm afraid my past and intentions would likely bore you. In fact, a word of advice: to be friendly to every member of the Fatui that you see is automatically a death sentence. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and you must never let down your guard. Being a Harbinger means wearing the right mask for the right occasion. But I imagine you didn't come here for a lecture, did you? And then, please help yourself to the tea I have left over. It was imported from Fontaine. What is Fontaine like? Well, it's my homeland. I just came back there from a mission not too long ago. In fact, I was saving the skin of one of my colleagues, Tartaglia. Have you met him yet? Yes, well, he tends to always have a knack for getting himself into trouble, which is why I imagined Her Majesty always assigns him to faraway countries for missions. This time, however, he wasn't even on a mission, and simply found himself entangled in the web of Fontaine's legal system, with me to clean up his mess. I imagine you must have heard all that went on there, yes? Yes, a prophecy. People think Snezhnaya is a distant, closed-off nation with no access to what happens in the outside world. But really, the news of the Hydro Archon's dissolution and a nationwide flood tends to be quite the headline. I'm glad you enjoy the tea. It's been steeped with marcotte leaves, native to Fontaine. Typically, the plant is used in perfumes, but sometimes, due to how rich the scent and flavor can be, it may also be used in cooking or beverages. Most are put off by how sweet it can be when added to the base of teas, but I find it simply refreshing after a long, dull day of paperwork. Would you like another? Here, let me get that for you. Speaking of Fontaine, you were there recently, weren't you? Oh, don't look so surprised. It's a menial job for the Fatui to keep tabs on their own. For your first mission, disguised as a vacation of sorts. How'd you like it there? Oh, I see. Very good. That's certainly a start. Keeping your cards close to your chest. Good. That'll keep you alive, at least. Forgive me for stepping out of line. I tend to have a natural curiosity towards matters concerning my homeland. And truthfully, what do I have to hide from you? I've let you in my office, alone, served you tea, and am willing to tell you about myself should you ask. Anything I keep from you is likely limited to classified knowledge that I would have to give Her Majesty regarding any of my private missions. Outside of that, you and I are colleagues. However, to maintain good relations, we should also maintain good connections. It's been too long since I've gotten along with another Harbinger. Since Rosalind's death, it's been terribly dull, surrounded by lunatics and imbeciles all day. So tell me, are you willing to be an ally? Or are you someone I should continue to keep a close eye on? Good. That's all for today. The sun is setting, and it's getting later in the evening. I shall not keep you any longer. It was a delight to be acquainted with you further. Here's to hoping to a collaborative future. Now, get some rest. We have a busy day ahead of us tomorrow, but especially for you, with your new duties and all. Good night. Rest well.